Master Donovan Shinnock, companion of the Order of the Silver Rapier, companion of the Order of the Golden Rapier, companion of the Order of the Masters of Defense. And as of this day, because he's extra, the holder of the Iron Ring. Also, and possibly slightly more relevant, companion of the Order of the Moth.
Donovan, there's the old adage, the pen is mightier than the sword. Yeah. The arch-enchanter's wand has within it the power to save whole cities. In your hands, I feel the pen and the sword are in equal measure. So I would have your answer.
Their Majesties would see before them their companions of the Order of the Laurel.
I know.
We're taking real long strides too. Come on, Here's the music now.
Is there a member of the Order of the Chivalry who will speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, if I may. I am your man, Brennan McFergus, Knight of the Society, Duke of the East, and it is my great pleasure to speak for this man today. I know how to throw shots. I know how to drop bodies. I don't necessarily know why. I study what to do. This man studies why. I am martial. This man is a martial artist. If I am a peer, this man is everything, including my peer. Thank you, Your Majesty.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican who will speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, people of the East, I am Mercedes Vera de Calafia, Master of Defense, Order of the Pelican, Tiger of the East, and I would speak for the Pelicans. Let me tell you something about service. Everyone has ideas. Some people have good ideas. Very few people have good ideas, will write up a proposal and email it to you. Donovan has good ideas, writes proposals, emails them, then offers to do the work, follows through, pokes you when necessary, doesn't need credit, just the implementation of good ideas. Whether it's rapier, heraldry, protecting vulnerable people, he does the work. The worth of a warrior is not in the battles they win, but the causes they fight for. He may be loud, and he is passionate, but is always service to what he believes is right and just. It is my honor to tell you he is my peer.
Thank you.
Is there a member of the Order of the Rose who will speak for this candidate?
I got this. Pardon me, I don't want to step on anybody.
Go, jump.
Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, may I address your populace?
Please.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Duchess Keelan. So I had thought maybe I could tell a little story about Donovan, and then I went, no, if people are going to tell stories about Donovan, no one needs to hear a story about Donovan. So I'm going to say instead, you know how there are people that you meet and you're like, they learn a thing and they're really good at it immediately, and you're like, you were just born with the skill to do this thing. And then there are people who they take their time to learn the thing and they maybe do some drills at it, but they're still like, they have that innate, like, I don't even know why you bother. You're just gonna come here and do that thing really well anyway. So I find that courtesy is one of those things. Either you have it innately and you're just like, I'm just good at this. Or you have to like think about it sometimes and drill it and study the manuals and perhaps write up a proposal and talk to other people and tell them how to drill it to best maximize their courtesy and their best interactions with other humans. And Donovan is he's the latter kind. But to that point, what he does is he learns how, why, and what he needs to do in order to be the best peer that he can be. And I've known that when he first became a Master of Defense. And I've known that since even before then. And I see every day that what he wants is to figure out, he wants to take it apart. He wants to know why. And then he wants to tell you very, very excitedly why and how. But one of the greatest things that Donovan has learned in his quest to be the best peer he can be is this. I'm sorry, I've got to walk away from this. But he has raised even that to an art. Performance art. And in all seriousness, I have about this much of the tenacity to learn that he does, to research that he does, to implement in real time as he does, and to show other people that this art of defense is in fact an art of defense. So in all seriousness, you're already a peer. You're already my peer. And I am just so excited that you're going to go on this journey now and teach other people why, how, where, when. And you're going to do it with the most grace I know you know how to do. So my friend, I adore you. You're going to do fantastic. Keep arting. This man is my peer.
Is there a member of the Order of Defense who will speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I am Marshal Remy de la Montagne de Gascon, and I am more than happy to talk about Donovan first. It has even nothing to do with this, though. This is Donovan's fault. Future story. When you watch Donovan fence, you get a beautiful glimpse into what it would have been like to watch a Renaissance fencing master in action. And I don't put that lightly, but the way he stands, the way he moves, the way he's able to adapt from one plate to another, one action to another, he shows how much mastery he has of his craft, of his art. And you get this beautiful glimpse because of the years and years of research and hard work and practice he's put into his art. Watching him fence is like watching a plate come out, float off the book of a fencing book, and come to life. And it is truly remarkable to watch, both on the outside and sometimes, unfortunately, on the business end of his rapier. But he's also extrapolated on what the masters wrote and said about, where like masters like Fabris and Alfieri said, if you read our books, you should be able to figure out how to use these other offhand weapons we're not going to talk about. Donovan did a research paper trying to figure out how one could fight in the style of Salvatore Fabris with the buckler. It's a research paper that I refer to my own students regularly. So now, when we get new fencers that want to fight in this style, they don't have to put in all that extra work. They can jump into it much sooner and find success much faster because of the work that he's put in. He's also done research into what length daggers should be for fighting with rapiers, so we get a better idea of the types of tools we should be using with our recreation of historical fencing. And these are things you kind of expect when studying historical martial arts, right? How to sword good and what weapons to use. But historical martial arts is much more than that. We get a glimpse into the cultures that we're looking to recreate. And Donovan's research has done that as well. He's done research into the London Masters of Defense, giving us insight into how they ran their business, how one would move up the ranks, what the locals thought about them as both a business and also entertainment. Because fencing prize fights were like big deals. People would show up and watch all these fights. He did research into what size lists would be for those prize fights, giving us a better idea of like how much space they thought was suitable to demonstrate their art to the entire the city watching them. And it was research we used yesterday in the By the Book tourney. So we're able to, even for there, so find some real-world application of the work he's done. I think that if the goal of the SCA is the study and recreation of pre-17th century cultures, Donovan's research has shed light on some of the maybe lesser-known parts of those cultures. And I'm excited to see where other people go with that based off where Donovan has taken us already. So, Your Majesties, I am more than happy to see his hard work and research from all these years be recognized, and I fully endorse him to be inducted into the Order of the Laurel.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Duchess Thura Eric's daughter, and I am honored to speak for the Laurels for this candidate. Now, we've heard from many fencers now speak about why Donovan deserves this elevation. But I am not a fencer, so maybe I can help translate to some other things that maybe people have more experience with. So, as a dancer, I know how hard it is to try to learn three-dimensional movement from a written description. And we look at these beautiful plates that we recreate on the scrolls, and we think that they are, a helpful primary resource. They're not. Let me tell you, they're not. But when I go and read my primary sources and try to do what they say to do, if I get it wrong, maybe one or two people there might notice. If a fencer does that and they get it wrong, they lose. Not the same. As a calligrapher, I understand that there is a very wide gap between understanding how it should be done and actually doing it. Trying to get that point control from what I'm seeing in my head and what I'm seeing on that page, and then making the nib go exactly where I want it. That's hard. And if I mess up, I can often fix it. If you're a fencer and you don't get the point right where you need it to be, you lose. It's not the same. we as a society, as researchers, as so many of us are very good at passing around the knowledge that we know about informing people about the right sources to use, about what we have learned so that you can learn from new mistakes rather than our mistakes. It happens all the time. So when I make a mistake doing one of my arts and sciences, there is definitely someone out there who can help me learn how to do it better. But if I make a mistake with historical fencing at this level, not only will I lose, but there are very few people who can help me figure out what went wrong and how to fix it. I would have to do all of that work on my own. But if there is one thing that we know about Master Donovan, is that he doesn't lose. So, Your Majesties, thank you for making this.
We have now heard from all of your speakers. We've heard your answer. Now the first question I have is there a medallion?
There is, Your Majesties. Master and Shield.
If you can't stand up close, it's gorgeous.
Is there a collar?
Yes, Your Majesty, there is.
The pendant made by Master Vortigern the crafty fellows, and the collar assembled and roughly finalized by myself.
We do like skulls. Yeah, for sure. Is there a wreath?
There is, Your Majesty. This was made by Don Brendan Firebow.
This might get lost on you. Right. Is there a cloak?
There is.
Ryokujin and Indrakshi, King and Queen of the Easterners, to our bailies and heralds and officers and peers of the realm, greetings. Know that for the advantage and peace of the people, we have considered certain things should be decreed and sent to you and our other officers through the kingdom, commanding and firmly charging that you and they proclaim them in your and their jurisdictions. Insomuch as, having played his prize and demonstrated his prowess in the art of defense, our subject, Donovan Shinnock, was acclaimed by our blessed ancestors as one of the 3 ancient masters of defense of the East. As the said Donovan and has become learned in various weapons and the diverse manuals and treatises for the practice thereof. And we are well pleased with the learning, erudition, and scholarship of the said Donovan, and willing and wishing that such erudition be commended in a fitting and righteous manner. Therefore, we do hereby of our especial grace, certain science, and merest motion, give and grant, and by these presents convey unto the said Donovan the following rights and obligations. Item, the said Donovan shall be, and hereby is, invested and endowed with the rank, status, and renown of a companion of the Order of the Laurel, to have and hold hereafter all rights, privileges, prerogatives, commodities, jurisdictions, royalties, franchises, and preeminences attending thereupon. Item, as token and signal of his mastery, the said Donovan shall wear upon his person at all times the badge of the Order of the Laurel aforementioned. Item, the said Donovan shall have license to teach and instruct in any place within the dominions of the known world as an able, well-tried, and sufficient man, with such diverse weapons as the long sword, sword and buckler, Morris pike, and rapier and dagger, etc. Item, we desire, charge, and command all our subjects to aid the said Donovan against all strangers and such forsworn men as would deceive our true subjects, or teach without authority or license. We command and charge all and sundry our subjects whomsoever to readily answer, intend, and obey this our royal charter under the pain of treason. Whatsoever persons that do in the contrary shall be reputed and held as plain opposers of our authority, and shall be punished for that with all rigor in example of others. So done and caused to be done upon 16th July in the 56th year of the Society. Words by Alice Malagentia. Calligraphy and illumination by Vittorio Antonello. For Master Donovan, newest companion of the Order of the Laurel. Viva! Viva!